Hello students, so welcome back. So today we will be discussing the last part of the chapter, the parts of a plant. So last class as we discussed about the kinds of root, then the function of stems and about the leaves, different types of leaves, that is the venation, different types of venations in leaves, and lastly we concluded with the definition of what is stomata. So we will be starting from there, what is stomata, and today we will need why do plants have stomata. So last session only I have discussed that the plants have tiny pores like structures present on the leaves which are known as stomata. So I hope you remembered. I've shown like these structures which can be these tiny spores like structures which can be seen only under the microscopes. These tiny spores like structures are present on the leaves and these are known as stomata. Now why do plants have stomata? What is the function of stomata? So like any living being, plants also need air to live, and this is through the stomata the air enters into the plant body. As we breathe through our nose, so air enters our body through our nose. So similarly the air enters into the plant's body through this tiny spore like opening present on the leaves called stomata. So I hope it is clear to you. Now next we will move on to like what do leaves do for the plants. Now what is the function of leaves? Like yesterday we have studied about leaves, that the leaves consist of three. I told you to draw the diagram also. So leaves consist of three main parts, that is the midrib, then the central vein is the midrib, then the small veins are the leaf veins, and the leaf margin, the edge of the leaf is the leaf margin. So now what is the function of the leaf? Why there are so many leaves in the plant? When we talk about a plant, we can see it is covered with leaves more than flowers or fruits. So leaves are called the kitchen of the plant. Okay, so what happens in the kitchen? How do we use our kitchen? Yes, we use it for cooking food. So similarly, the food for the plant is prepared in the leaves. In the presence of sunlight, the leaves take in carbon dioxide from the air, then it takes water from the soil, and there is another pigment called chlorophyll, which is the green color of the leaf, the chlorophyll which is present in the leaf. So with these four substances, the leaf makes the food for the plant. So what are the four substances? So as I have told you, so in presence of sunlight, the leaves take carbon dioxide from the air, then water from the roots, and this chlorophyll. What is chlorophyll? You will learn in details in your next class. So chlorophyll, just for your knowledge, it is the green color pigment which is present in the leaf. Due to the presence of chlorophyll, the leaves appears green in color. So all these four things combine to make food for the plant. Okay. Now during this process, this process of making food for the plant is known as photosynthesis. What it is known as? It is known as photosynthesis. The process of making food by plants using sunlight, carbon dioxide, water and chlorophyll is known as photosynthesis. Okay. Now during this process of photosynthesis. The leaves makes the food. The food again is carried to the different parts of the plant by the tube-like structures, narrow tube-like networks inside the plant, as we have already discussed. And after this process is completed, the leaves gives out oxygen, and this oxygen is taken by us. Like we use this oxygen, the living things, all other living things, like all the animals, human beings, animals, what do we use? We use this oxygen for breathing. So you can see, like, what we breathe out is carbon dioxide gas. This carbon dioxide gas is taken by the leaves or the plants for making food, and after making food they give out oxygen, and this oxygen is taken by us. So I hope it is clear to you. Again, leaves, we have learned about some plants store the excess food in their roots, then some plants storing the excess food in their stems. So in roots it were like beetroot, then in stems potato. Then now there are certain some plants stores their excess food in their leaves, like for example cabbage, lettuce. So this, the leaves which we eat, that is actually the cabbage is the leaf of the plant, cabbage plant, and the extra food is stored in the cabbage. So I hope this much is clear to you. Now we will be moving on to flowers. Now when we are talking about next, we will be discussing about flowers. So all of you have seen flowers. So when we look at a plant, which is the most beautiful part of the plant? Yes, it is the flowers. Why? Because flowers are of different colors, even they are of different shapes, and some flowers have a beautiful fragrance. So many plants bears flowers which are of different size, shape and color. Now some flowers, they have a sweet liquid in them which is known as what? Nectar. And this nectar attracts the insects. You will see butterflies, then honeybees, they just fly over the flower and they sit on the flower. Why do they sit? They sit to suck this nectar. This is the food for the insects. Now bees collects this nectar and they make honey from it. Now flowers also plays a very important role in the part in the plant's body. Beside attracting the insects or feeding the insects with its nectar, it helps in pollination. Now what is pollination? You will come to learn in higher classes. Now for the time being, we will just learn like flowers. It plays a very important role in the life of plant, and flower gives rise to fruits. It is from the flowers that the fruits develop. So next we will be talking about fruits. Now all of you have seen fruits. Some of you may like a particular fruit. So fruits, what do they have? They have seeds inside them. The fruits protect the seeds which are inside them, so that from the seeds a new plant develops. So the seeds are protected by the fruits. Now some of the fruits you will see they have only one seeds, like in case of mango, whereas some fruits have few seeds, for example apple, and some fruits have many seeds, which we can see in case of papaya and watermelon. So next what we have is, we are talking about next is seeds. Now most plants produce seeds, and these seeds have a baby plant inside them. that is, if you have observed, you will see when you sow a seed into the soil after a few days, and if you keep on watering it properly, after a few days a new plant develops from the seed. So this is what the seed contains, a baby plant inside it, and the baby plant can grow into a new plant when it reaches the soil and it gets enough water and warmth. When the seed is sowed into the soil and it gets enough water and warmth, this seed will develop into a baby plant. Now again we eat some seeds. Can you name some seeds that we eat? Yes, like we eat rice, wheat, maize, all these are seeds that we are eating. So with this we have come to the end of this chapter, parts of a plant. So I'll be giving you some questions for assignment. So these are the questions. So these are the questions. How do air enters a plant? So air enters a plant through tiny pores present on the leaves called stomata. What gives rise to a fruit? A flower gives rise to a fruit. Which part of the plant is known as the kitchen of the plant? The leaves are known as the kitchen of the plant. And what do seeds have inside them? Seeds have a baby plant inside them. So with this, this chapter has come to an end. So we will conclude the session here. Thank you.